everybody. Dr. Shelley here with your installment of tips and tidbits for transforming your life. I am really excited about this particular one because I had a weekend that was, it was just a great weekend. It was all about feeding my soul. And when I look at why it was a great weekend, I realized it was because everything I did this weekend just fed me. And I want to talk about what I mean by that, because I'm going to introduce a series here shortly. And it's likely that it could draw up some serious crap for some of you. And I think that's great, because anytime you can draw it up, then you can grow, you can move it, you can learn from it. So I want to start a little series about really feeding your soul. And what does that look like? Because some of you may not know what feeds your soul. And some of you may not even know what I'm talking about. So let me get into a couple things here. Like Friday night, I went to hang out with some of my good friends and dance. And dancing just feeds my soul. I love music. I love dancing. I love hanging out with my friends. And then on Saturday night, I got to go to a birthday party for a woman that I don't know necessarily as well as I'd like to. I mean, just seems like a great human being on the planet. And so I'm kind of on the outside of this group looking in, but this group, there is a love in that group that you can't help, but it gets on you. You know what I mean? Like it gets on you when you're around them and you just feel loved and you feel like you're part of that group. And on Saturday day, I volunteer on Thursdays with a group called Dancing with Friends. And Dancing with Friends, we teach yoga and movement to kids and adults with special needs. And we had our summer blowout, and it was so fun. I mean, I laughed. I posted some pictures on Facebook, and someone posted, "Oh my God, you look so happy." And I thought, wow, isn't that cool when people really notice that you look happy? When you look happy, I think that's because your soul is fed. And I realized for a long time I was not feeding my soul, and I was tired, and I was worn out. And then last night, I got to go hear a music duo called Her Horizon, and I think I was born in the wrong era. Like, I love the music of the 30s and 40s. Cole Porter doesn't get any better than that. And I was listening to the words of this song. I just listened. It's not the pale moon that excites me and thrills and delights me, oh no. It's just the nearness of you. Think about that. It's not the pale moon that excites me and that thrills and delights me. It's just the nearness of you. So for you, it might be a person, it might be dance, it might be music, it might be, who knows? And don't get me wrong, like, you can have conversations, lighthearted conversations all the time that feed you. Like, I can talk about football, and that is a soul-moving experience for me because I love football. But here's your invitation for the week. I want you to start looking in your life and see if what you're doing on a regular basis is really feeding you. And if it's not, just identify that it's not. And if it is, do more of it. Or continue to find things that feed you. Because at the end of the day, at least best I can tell, we can do all these things. We can, well, here's what it comes down to. We can do all these things, but it's not the doing of things at the end of the day that really impacts your soul. It's who you be and who you're being around and the kinds of conversations that you're having. So I'm going to introduce a series based on a book called The Invitation by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. And it's not for the faint of heart. I mean, I'm going to, if you haven't read it, I'm just going to read a little bit of the first part of the poem. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, what you dare to dream about. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you're willing to risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. Now, to me, that's really good stuff. A lot of people come to me for weight loss. And when I start talking to them, they're using food to feed their soul instead of figuring out what they're really hungry for. So this week's invitation, or one of this week's invitations, is really for you to go looking in your life. What feeds you? And are you taking advantage of it as much as you can? Because that's where the sweetness of life is. It's not the pale moon that excites me, that thrills and delights me. It's just you and the nearness of you. So what is that for you? Have a great day. This is Dr. Shelley for this installment of Tips and Tidbits for Transforming Your Life. I will see you in the next video.